Welcome back to Satisfactory. Since the last episode, I have been speculating, pondering, and thinking and planning quite extensively. One of the things that you might notice is that the lift up there is going in on the third level. That is actually the fourth level, but I'm gonna call it the third level because this will no longer be used very often, quite rarely actually, and so that I'll refer to that as level 0, since I do prefer to use the stackable conveyor poles, and then that would be level 1. The reason why I moved it down from level 5 to level 3 was this contraption here. Now I could have done this in the actual recording, but man, this thing is kind of complicated. So what you're looking at up there is a splitter, and I think that belt there is wrong. I think that's supposed to be a Mark II belt, so let's just go ahead and make sure that... No, it is a Mark II belt. It needs to be a Mark II belt, because obviously each of these lifts are able to carry 120 products up, and I have a production line of 7, which might sound a bit bizarre, but 7 of these constructors are making iron plates. Now, to achieve 7 of these instead of 8, we need 30 times 7 instead of 30 times 8. Whereas the usual 30 times 8 would be 240, aka 2 full belts. That is 2 full Mark II belts of iron ingots. However, I want to use the additional 30, so we're only using 90 on this side. I want to use the additional 30 on this belt going over here to these constructors, where we'll have 2 of these using those 30 iron ingots to make iron rods. And this is so that we'll have a buffer of iron rods. Not that I think we need one, but that's the point of it, at least, to have a small buffer. And I have the excess iron anyway, so I might as well do it like that. There will also be a good buffer of iron plates, because we are using a lot more iron plates than we're using iron rods for the Mark I belts. So that is the reason for that splitter up there, which was a bit finicky to place. But it's basically, you place it here, and then you have to reattach the elevator to the splitter instead of the stackable conveyor, which I'm not entirely certain if I've done or not. It looks like I've done it, because if you look at the someone called it an accordion, which I guess is a fitting name, you can see 2, maybe 2.5 there. Whereas here, well, I don't know really. We'll have to figure that out when I have something coming on the belt. But we'll get back to that, because, yeah. Now, to get with 120 belts, it's kind of... it's why I said in the last episode that Mark III belts is going to make life a lot easier than using Mark II belts. So these 30 are going to those 2 over there, and the other 120 are going to the other, I think it's 8 machines, 2 on this side, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, so it's 8 machines. But since 8 machines produce 1 full belt of Mark II, I have placed this here just to know where the belt will go, because I want these 2 machines to then transport their goods over to this side, And then along down the line here towards those machines that you can see down there. Those machines are going to produce screws. And then we have a rather interesting and slightly complicated system down here, where these machines, 3 of these machines, produce one full Mark II belt again of screws. So then we have 3 and 3 of these. This is one triplet. This is another triplet. Then we only have 2 machines here, and I've built this here to know where that belt comes out, because the last belt will only have 80. But 80 screws isn't enough for what we eventually are going to end up with. We are going to need 120 for that as well, which is why we have these 2 machines here. They require 100 screws each per minute to produce rotors. And then we have these machines over here, which then require 60 each per minute. So we will get a full 360? 240, 360, yes. And I believe 40 times 8 would be 360, if I'm not completely mistaken. 80... No, 320, not 360, sorry, 320. So yeah, it is kind of complicated. I want to do the process together with you. So let's just begin at one end here. The primary thing that we need are these 3 machines. I don't really need the other machines at the other side here yet, so I won't start them up. But we need these 3 machines that are producing iron plates to send those iron plates down here. And before we do that, we need to figure out what level do we want these to be on. Now the screws are coming in on level 3, so I think we want them to come in on level 4. That's a placeholder. So with 4, that means we have to do some counting here. This is supposed to be a merger, so remember that's 0. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and same for the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we can remove the extraneous mergers here, because we don't need the stack of mergers to go on cluttering our space. And now we have this nice little walking space here. So each of these are producing 20, so we don't need a Mark II belt on this one. We will have more than sufficient throughput with a Mark I belt. So connect the lifts up to these, like so. And then we connect these together. And then we have to count. We're here. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can have a stackable conveyor pole here, 2, 3, and 4. And then we connect this up to that. We can remove this. And then we need to do the same here. But there's no... I suppose I could have it there, but I'd like them to be symmetric. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1... What? There's supposed to be 3 in between. I don't like it when I don't get the green lines. 1, 2, 3. So it should be here. 2, 3, 4. Then we connect this belt up to that. And we can remove this. And then we need to have splitters here. The red one needs to go there. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we do the same here. The red goes there. That aligns to the entrance of that. So 1, 2, 3. Or rather, that would be 3. And then this one, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we connect the belt from up there to there, and we connect that one up to this one. and that one to this one. We can remove the extraneous splitters here. And now here we need a Mark II belt, so let's just upgrade these, and we connect that one up to that, and this one to that, and we can remove the extraneous splitters here as well. Ooh, now these require 60 screws and 60 iron plates, so we can safely use Mark I lifts on these machines. That won't work on the rotor machines. Oh, come on, there and there. So there we have these machines hooked up to their respective belts. Now the next part is to supply the iron rods. The other machines here, these four, those are just going to stash things in here, so I don't see the point of expending time connecting those right now. So what level do we want these to go on? Okay, we want them to go on level 3. Because of the belts there, it has to pass underneath. So we need mergers on level 3. Or rather level 2. 2, 3. And the green arrow needs to go that way. So 0, 1, 2. The same here. 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2. We can remove the additional ones that are not needed. And each of these will output 15. So we are very happy using Mark 1 on this side. Like so. And we connect this to there. And now this won't make a good turn. That looks rather silly. So we have to build a stackable conveyor pole there. And connect that up like this to get a correct angle here. And I don't think that one is correct. No, it isn't. It should be here. But it's not supposed to be there at all. Then we need to continue with our mergers here. So 1, 2, 3. And we can just continue on that height. Do I want... No, I don't want them on that height, actually. I'd want them on level 5. Or rather level 4. But that should be 4 machines. So for now, we want them on this level. With good reason. We can just connect that to there. And that one we can connect to that one. Like this. And then we remove these. And we connect up the lifts like this. And that should be 60. Yep, that'll be 60. And the next one here will be an additional 60. So on this one, we are going to go up 2. So 1, well, it should actually give us a line. 1, 2, 3, and then an additional 2. And here we want to use a lift to connect those two together, like that. And we can remove the additional mergers. Give me the green line. Thank you. 2, 3, 4, 5. As you can see, it kind of goes wild on the aligning of these things, but it usually follows the last one. Now, here on out, we cannot use Mark 1s anymore. We can use Mark 1 lifts to connect these up, but it has to be Mark 2 from here on out, because we already are at 60 coming into this thing, and then we add an additional 15, which means we are passing the capacity of the Mark 1 belts, so now we have to go over to using Mark 2 belts. Of course, to maintain the throughput. And I think I built the machine over there so that the product entrance or entry, whatever you call this thingy, should be aligned with the I hope so, at least. Yep, everything's aligned here. Whether that is a good idea or not, we will see soon. 1, 2, Now that's a merger. That won't work. 1, 2, 3. And then on this one, we need the red arrows to go that way. I'm sure you can see what I'm doing here in terms of splitting the belt off into 2 directions, making sure that all the machines... oh, I'm missing iron plates. Right, I'm going to go down and fetch that, so I'll pause the recording while I do that. And here we are. Now I picked up some rods as well. Now on this side we need the red arrows to point the other way, obviously, so let's just move on and put down these as well. Like so, and this should be the final one. Then we need that belt to connect to that one. And now we need to count. I think that each of these require 10. So on that side, we're going to use 10, 20, 30, 40, so we can go down to mark 1 belts on this side. But only on this side, mind you. And you'll see why soon. This might be the wrong height. I might be doing a mistake here. No, that's fine actually. That is perfect. Because I need to go down 2. And that was not planned. That was pure luck. So, we can remove. Note that my entire factory is still powered down because I don't need the factory to be running because of the biofuel deficiency, or not deficiency, but the scarcity of that. I'd rather not start this up until I actually need it. There we go. Now these machines, I believe they need 20 each. Yep, 20, so we need 40 to be transported over there. And with that one, that means this is 50. So 10, 20, 30, 70. Which then means that this one needs to be a Mark II belt. And from there on out, we can use Mark I belts. That's the wrong entrance. Or output. There we go. Output and input. That's the words I was looking for earlier. Now we have a lift going here. And we can take that down like so. And then the question is, where does that lift entrance come out? That looks about right. I have no idea if this is going to be correct. So 1, 2. Actually, that does look correct. Not bad. So this one should be in alignment with that one. Here. 1, 2. And connect that one up to there. And then we connect this up to that, I think. No. Remove these. And these. This looks bizarre, I know, but I have my reasons. The reason is behind there. You can barely see it. It's the lift behind there. There we go. Now this one goes to there. Then this one goes to there. And then we connect these up as well. Like so. Now these require 100 screws per minute, so we need to go over to the Mark II lifts to connect up the screws. That should be alignment. And that should be alignment. Okay. So that means that the first of these batches of machines should go out on level 3. So that means we need... I'm not sure why I've made it so that it's facing that way. That should be level 3, and we need to use Mark II belts here as well. I suspect we are going to need that. As a matter of fact, let's add that, just for continuity's sake. There we go. And then I can do that later. We can remove these. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Move these. I could have done that in the same go. So each of these outputs 40. So we need a Mark II belt from here. And we can go back to Mark I in between here. And this lift can also be Mark I. There we go. So that is a full belt of 120 screws going over to the assemblers over there. The next one need to be on level 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, we can use a Mark I belt. Let's remove the extraneous one first. Well, ones, not one. This one can be a Mark I belt. We can have the Mark I lifts. There we go. And then we have to move over to Mark II belt. And connect that up to there. That should be a straight belt. Good. And that one connects up to this one. That doesn't look right, because this one is wrong. There we go. And this should be on the right height. Yep. Good. And then we have the final. Here I need to have a merger. 1, 2, 1, 2. And we need a Mark I lift going there. One lift going there. Remove the additional ones. And then this one can be Mark I, and then it has to change to Mark II. This should be in alignment. Yep, it is. Oh, sorry, that's wrong. That's actually quite wrong. I want this to be on ground floor, actually. So that way. And that way. Then we remove the top 3 here. So we have 4 of them, so I didn't need to remove that one. Is that too close? No, it isn't. It looks kind of silly, but it isn't too close. But it has to be a Mark II lift, so let's upgrade that immediately. Go back to the belts, and that one to there, that one to there, and that one to there. And this is an area of the base that I don't plan on walking past anyways, so I'm not terribly concerned with the non-snappiness here. But I do need to count. So it's on the very edge there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here. 2, I think 3 suffices. And we need to go back to Mark II belts. And that one should connect to there. Ooh, this is quite the contraption that I've built here. We do that, and we need to continue with the Mark II belt from there to there. And then we have that as a Mark II belt, and this one can be a Mark I belt. And there we go. Okay, so what did I do here? Except for making a very interesting looking contraption. The point here is these machines are going to take 100 of a belt of 120. So I split the belt with 100 going down into the machine, but the other 20 will go out onto that belt. And the same happens over here. 100 goes into that machine, and 20 goes down that lift and joins up on this belt. And we already have 80 coming out from those machines over there on this belt, which means that we end up with 120 screws on this belt going over to these machines. And these two machines, of course, require 60 each. So by making this odd-looking contraption here with these splitters, we have effectively made this looking both weird, but we've also balanced the belts, which means that we are not overproducing. Normally I wouldn't care about overproducing, but in this specific case I am caring about overproduction because, as I've mentioned more than once now, power is an issue on this area of the map. So with all of that done, everything here is now prepared and ready to power up. But I won't do that on camera. I'm going to place down the power lines, and I'm going to do all of those maintenance things, get the smelter lines downstairs running, and I probably need to put up a few more of the biomass burners. And I will be back when I have everything up and running, so be right back. Here we go. I just have to change the screen like so. I have put up all the power poles, and yes, in my previous series I had comments from people who were wondering why I bothered to put power poles at each and every machine. I think I've also mentioned this earlier in one of the episodes of this specific series. It is simply a matter of personal preference. You build your power poles however you want. I like the structure of having one pole connecting to each machine, knowing that in most cases I will always have some connection point to go to the next line. This is one of the very rare occasions where I'm using 4 out of 4 connections on Mark I power pole, because I'm connecting it to over here. But other than that, the only reason why I'm doing it like this is a matter of personal taste. I have 1 power pole per machine because I like it that way. I might have forgotten to connect something up. I definitely know that I need to connect the iron mine out there up to power. But I haven't shown that iron mine, so might as well take a quick zip out there as well. Not that it's that much to look at, but it's still something in the base that I haven't shown. This is on this angle here. This might be too far off, but let's put it here. And see if it will connect up without the line being too long. Yep, it will. I'll just drag this line off because there are no foundations out here anyway, but can I avoid clipping through that arch? That would be good. No clipping through arch and no clipping through belt. Both would be very good. Yeah, that clips through the belt. Let's put it there then. Here are some coal nodes as well. We're going to need them eventually. I think they are impure though. Yeah, this one can go there. Let's go check these coal nodes. I've killed the nasties that were here earlier. No, these are normal. So I have 2 normal coal nodes here. Ah, yeah, I remember where I have the impure ones now. They are at a completely different space. They're actually at the back of the base. We connect that to there. There is a distinct sound of nasties here. Connect that up to there. I know there are some spitters. Not just small spitters, but there are some big spitters up in that mountain pass there. So that might be why we're hearing nasties. Or there might be a cave here that I'm unaware of. We might be hearing spiders. But I don't think so. Then again, I haven't explored the area all that much, so... Ah, never mind. Let's go back to the power. I have absolutely no clue, as I said, how much power this is going to require. I suspect that when I fill up the biofuel generators or biomass burners, it's going to just shut down immediately. But at least that'll give me an idea of how much I need. Also, as you can see, I've cleaned up most of what was over there. There's a few things left, like the container with screws. I think that container with screws is what we need in terms of a buffer when it comes to screws, because we don't really need that many screws. And I have a substantial amount over there. Like a container full of screws, and it's like 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 12,000 screws. I think that'll be sufficient for now. Let's grab 6, 8, 10 of these, just in case. And now you can see what I mean by biofuel being a precarious situation here. So I'm going to have to be quick on getting the products that I need to send off on the space elevator. Fill this up. I probably need to take another decimation trip into the nature here. Yeah, that's only until the smelters have sent its ore upstairs, I think. I'm pretty sure that when that gets upstairs... Let's see here. I'm producing how much? 180. According to the calculator, which I handily have, just the stuff I have upstairs is going to require 217. So I need a lot more than that. I need 4 more? I need some walking space here as well. One, 2, 3, 4, and then we need the power poles. Did I place this wrong? Yes, I did. Meh. Oh well. Let's do it again then, because I want the power poles to be aligned. And then a power pole there, a power pole here, and a power pole here. And the final one there, I think. And we connect that to there. This one goes to there. This one goes to there. This one goes to there. And I didn't mean to do that. We can connect this one to this one. And then put in this. Put in this. This. And this. We have 300 capacity. Somehow that doesn't seem right. But I'm pretty sure I need one more. I'll get one more just in case. I'd rather have it now rather than have to go down here and mess with things later on. And then 330. You can't really overproduce power anyways, because if the burners will, or any power plant will only burn as much as it needs. Currently it's at 23%, which means it's burning this at 23 or 22%, whatever this percentage is, will burn this at that speed based on the 15 seconds. So it's burning one at 20%, 22% off 15 seconds speed. So what we have to wait for now is for the ores to start coming in from the miners again. And that's going to take a while. So let's just check that everything is doing what it's supposed to do. Yeah, no, we're not getting power this way because I've done something with the power poles over here. So I need to make sure that these things are connected up again. That power pole has a very silly location in terms of that, because we want a power pole to come down from there. Might as well place it here, I think. Then connect up this, and then that connects to there. How much power is going on now? We're at 90 megawatts. Yeah, I strongly suspect we're going to need more. There should be iron coming out over there now. Yep. Now the belts going down there, we need to check those as well. Because basically I just let everything shut down, and I had to redo a lot of the belts, which also meant that the belts emptied. There's a red light up there, but I don't trust that, because you have to be close enough for it to actually light up, for it to turn green. But now I'm close enough, so it's definitely not getting power currently. Yeah, no, that power pole needs to be connected to that power pole. I probably had this connected to something down here. Can that go up there without clipping through the sand? Yep. There we go. That turned green. Those are green. We should probably be at more power now. Yeah, about 90 megawatts. Okay, I'll just pause the recording while I go and check that all of the nodes are actually doing their stuff, and I will be right back when I have seen that everything is actually working. So the iron ingots are coming in from the smelting array down there, and it's looking quite nice so far. This is one of my favorite parts of the game, when something that you've planned for a long time starts working as you want it to. The only thing that I'm a bit suspicious about is, well, it has to balance out first, because the splitter tries to balance 1, 1, 1, 1. So this one has to be full before that belt actually gets its correct saturation. That will probably take a little while, because that means that the machines here have to fill up first. And that also applies to the screw belts that I have over here, where the machines need 100 and the splitter should take off the 20. But it is working. They haven't started the production yet, but it is working. We have screws coming in. We don't have iron plates yet, which of course would be fairly impressive, considering that I don't think these machines have managed to manufacture very many of them as of yet. Yeah, they're coming in now. So, yep, it's starting to fill up now. Need to watch out for the power situation. We're at 100 and... yeah, now these are starting up. 190, 200. I might be overproducing power because not all of the machines are working. Like the copper machines over there, they're not doing anything because I have the buffers full. The screw machines will also be turning off intermittently. So that's good. It's going to be jumping up and down quite extensively, I think. But we are getting the parts exactly as I wanted us to get from this process. And yeah, this makes me happy. Now, the final thing that we need to create is an assembler. Ah, right, yeah, I have to do that as well. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it on this side or the other one, but I think I will do it on this side. How far up does that have to go? I'll definitely do it on that side. Organization, storage container, flip it around. We need a merger here. I'm not too worried about the distance here. One distance is fine on this. We go to the entrance there, and 1, 2, and then connect it up. Then we do the same here. We go to the entrance, 1, 2, and connect it up. So we get what now? Okay, so we have rotors being produced. They're going to be stored in here. We do the same thing over here. There. I think I should have some you're not supposed to be there. Let's see here. Flip it around like this. And let's put these back in because I don't need to carry around that many of them. So then we do the same with this. 1, 2. 1, 2. And now we're producing both rotors and reinforced iron plates. I believe we're producing 10 iron plates, or reinforced iron plates I mean, and 8 rotors per minute. Yep. So then, the final thing that we need to do, and I'm not going to put it here, but I will just have it here for the time being. So this uses 2 out of each, and I think that we can, well, power-wise, yeah, no, it doesn't really matter if I have 2 of them. I'll put up 2 of these, merge them together, and get it ready for the space elevator. But that will have to be in the next episode. I'll probably put the space elevator somewhere around in, like, I need to build more concrete foundations and build the space elevator somewhere out here, especially since these are facing this way. And I also need to put up a smelter for this caterium ore, and also a constructor that makes the quick wire, so we can continue down the caterium ore research path. And I probably also have to go butcher some trees, because I expect that we're going to run out of power at least once before we're ready with the coal. However, for now, I think this is where we're going to leave it. So if you have any questions or comments, as usual, please feel free to leave them in the comments or join us in the Discord. You'll find the link to the Discord in the description of the video. And thank you all so very much for joining me, and I will see you all in the next episode.